Have you ever thought about how hockey and the world of professional wrestling are kinda similar to one another? Like how both sports sell violent rivalries that often devolve into complete chaos? And I know I might sound crazy for even thinking this, but I'd probably be willing to say that pro wrestling might be the only thing more Canadian than hockey itself. But we can't make this connection without first mentioning Bret the Hitman Hart. He's a Canadian icon who literally has a hockey team named after him in the WHL's Calgary Hitmen. Then there's Daniel Bryan, whose trademark Yes chant also caught on in the hockey world, becoming the go-to chant for the New York Islanders following their goals and post-game celebrations. Back in the 90s, the WWE even had a wrestler named the Goon, whose origin story was that he had been banned from every professional hockey league in the world and had no other choice but to resort to fighting in the squared circle. Most importantly, there are hockey players who even embrace heel personas on the ice, with no one better at it than Brad Marchand, who has fully embraced a pesky rat-like character that has bullied and dominated the Maple Leafs for the past 15 years. Yet the strongest link I can think of between hockey and the professional wrestling world happened on the night that Jordan Binnington and Marc-Andre Fleury almost had a goalie fight, a moment that was spoiled by the refs holding them back. And with so much frustration directed at the refs, a story slipped through the cracks from that night. A story that basically explained the whole reason why things got so violent in the first place. And that was because Ric Flair was in the building. It was wrestling night in St. Louis, and the Nature Boy was there. Before the game, Ric Flair would be invited to the Blues locker room, where he got to pump up the team by rating the starting lineup. And as Rick spoke about how hockey players deserved more respect, there was one guy who was laser focused on the wrestling legend, and that was Jordan Binnington. You see, Binnington is another hockey equivalent of a heel in professional wrestling, as he has a long history of pestering opposing teams' fan-favorite players. So with Binner seeing the greatest heel in wrestling history standing before him, I think an idea started to form in his head. That idea being, why not attempt to fight one of the most beloved goalies of all time in Marc-Andre Fleury? And with just one final sentence, Flair set the fate of this night.
Who's the badass on this team?
It was basically a challenge from Flair for the Blues to get physical. And as he fist bumped the Blues onto the ice, nobody would want to disappoint him. So what would transpire was probably one of the most violent rivalry games of the 2020s so far. And I think you can't deny that Flair definitely played a part in it, as everybody wanted to prove that they were the badass on this night.